Hello everyone, in this video we are going to have a close look at point recurring 9, which is 0 point and an infinite sequence of 9s, and apply the method to convert a recurring decimal into a fraction to this number. So if we call this number x, as we've seen in the method, we need to work out 10x because we only have one recurring digit, and it's going to be a 9 point an infinite sequence of 9. We can subtract x from this number, x being 0 point and an infinite sequence of 9. And so if we carry out this subtraction, you will see that all these 9s here will cancel out and that we will end up with a 9. So we get 9x is equal to 9. And dividing by 9 on both sides will lead us to x equals to 1. So this might be surprising because in the first place this x here was defined as point recurring 9 and we end up with x equals to 1. So the question is, what is x? Is x equal to point recurring 9 as we said in the beginning, or is x equal to 1? Well, the question to this answer is actually this point recurring 9 and this one are actually the same thing. And this might look a bit weird to you because obviously we do not write these two things in the same way, but it's actually the same number. The fact that here we have an infinite sequence of 9 does actually the trick, and it only looks confusing because we are pretty bad at dealing with infinite things. I will try and give you one explanation of the fact that these two numbers are actually one single number. To do so, we are going to say that if this number is different from this one, there should be a difference in between the two. So let's work out a few differences. The first one is 1 minus 0.9. This difference is 0.1. The second one is 1 minus 0.99, and this difference is 0.01. The third one is 1 minus 0.999, and this difference is 0.001. And let's continue the sequence. We get these results that you can easily continue for yourself. What is important here is to notice that these numbers here, they get closer and closer to the 0.9 recurring that we want to get to. And the sequence of the differences here is getting smaller and smaller. So it gets closer and closer to 0. So what does it mean? It means that if you can think of a number that would be a difference in between these two, so let's say if this number is d, so you can say that 1 minus this difference has to be point recurring 9. Well, if you go far down here with these numbers, you will make this difference as small as you want, so possibly smaller than any number d that you can think of. Okay, just try and think of a number d. If you go far enough here, you will get a difference that will get smaller than that. So what does it mean? Practically, it means that you can't find any number d like this that will be the actual difference in between these two numbers, because the difference can be made as small as you want. So it means that there is no need for difference in between these two numbers. It means that these two numbers are one same number. There are a few very interesting videos about this fact on the internet, so if you're interested in seeing more explanations and more considerations about it, I'll put the links in the description of the video. And you can also try for yourself to apply the same method of converting some recurring decimals into fraction with other numbers that end up in a recurring 9. So for example, if you try, let's say, 3.259 recurring, because we have again this sequence of recurring 9s that is infinite, you will see that this is actually a 3.26. And to explain this, well, you can just follow the same idea as the one we used here. You will not be able to find a difference between this number and this number, regardless of how small you choose to pick your difference.